Hi, everybody. Welcome to the third episode of Hanjado, the Way of Hanja. And I am, as always, your Hanja host, Kurt. Today is as I said, the third episode, which means we will be doing the third heavenly stem. And as I made a point of pointing out yesterday, as always, the first slide is almost always the same, except now we are in the third day, that's Sam Il, still of the first month, Il Wall, of the year of the fire horse, byeong Nyum. Alright, now, okay, so we're going to get a little kind of deep into the weeds here in this episode. I can move forward a little bit just to let you see what the character is that we're going to be focusing on today. It's the character byeong. And we'll come back to this slide again. We'll look at the stroke order diagram, the stroke order animation. We'll look at the, you'll get a chance to watch me writing the character, and as well as this is a stroke order diagram for the corresponding Hangul, and you'll get a chance to watch me write the Hangul as well. But before we get to that, I want to spend some time, just a few minutes at least, talking about these stems and branches, because we are in the byeong Nyum, which is usually referred to in English as the fire horse year, but byeong Nyum, so Nyum just means year. Byeong, right here. This is the third heavenly stem, and that's the byeong of byeong Nyum. The O of byeong Nyum comes from the seventh earthly branch. So right now we're on the third of 10 heavenly stems. Once we've done all the heavenly stems, then we'll do the earthly branches. Okay, and one thing I've done on this table is for each of the heavenly stems is associated with an element and with either yin or yang, starting with yang. And in this sequence, in this way of setting up, and it turns out that the order of the stems, the branches, is important, and that's what I'm going to talk about next. But in this ordering, the elements go in this is one of the traditional orders of the elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, water. And then for each element you have yang and then yin, yang and then yin, yang and then yin. So wood, yang, that was the first heavenly stem, gap. Wood, yin, was the second heavenly stem, ul, which we did yesterday. Today's Hanja is the third heavenly stem, which is yang fire, byeong, and so on. For the earthly branches, the earthly branches are also combinations of the elements with yin and yang. But in the case of the earthly branches, there's 12 of them. So to get 10, when you combine the 5 elements with yin and yang, it's pretty straightforward to get 10. Just that's how many combinations there are. But you have to earth, and of course, since these are called the earthly branches, this is not necessarily all that surprising. Earth does double duty in the earthly branches. So there's 2 yin earths and 2 yang earths, and all of the other, this one is not formatted correctly, but the yin metal should be over here with the rest of them. But all the other elements just have one of yin and one of, let's see, where's the other water? Oh, see, look at that. See, I always find mistakes when I'm actually doing the recording. But anyway, so the yang of earth and anyway, so there's 2 yins of earth and 2 yangs of earth. For all the other elements in the earthly branches, there's just 1 yin and 1 yang. And anyway, that's how you get 12. That's how you end up with 12. And they're put in this order. And then, like I said, the order is kind of important because now this is somewhat of a repeat of what was on the other slide, a little less cluttered. Here we just have the number for each stem, the number for each branch, the hanja for each stem, the hanja for each branch, and then the corresponding hangul and its pronunciation. The stems and branches are combined in their respective orders. I'll explain that in just a second. Well, actually, I'll explain it right here. For the first 10 years of the 60-year cycle, and that's how these stems and branches are combined together to come up with 60 combinations for the 60-year cycle of the lunar cycle, which is how every year gets assigned its combination of 1 heavenly stem and 1 earthly branch, and the combination of byeong with O is the combination that we're in this year, which we call the year of the fire horse. But really it's the year of byeong-o. Fire horse is so for each heavenly stem has a corresponding element. So do the earthly branches. But the earthly branches, in addition to being associated with yin or yang and one of the 5 elements, each of the earthly branches is also associated with one of the signs of the East Asian 60-year cycle, of the East Asian lunar zodiac. There's 12 signs or animals of the zodiac, and the animal that's associated with the 7th heavenly stem is the horse. And so we take the element from the heavenly stem. Did I say heaven? I meant this is the 7th earthly branch, the 3rd heavenly stem. We take the element from the heavenly stem, in this case, fire, and we take the animal that's associated with the earthly branch, in this case, the horse, and that's why it's called the year of the fire horse. All right. Sorry. So we go through. We start off. So there's a cycle of 60 years, and to assign the heavenly stem and earthly branch to each year, we start with the first heavenly stem and the first earthly branch. Gap, ja. One. Then we go to the second heavenly stem and the second earthly branch, ulchuk, and so on. But when we get down to 10, the 10th year of the 60-year cycle, now we have the 10th heavenly stem and the 10th earthly branch, geyu. But then we're out of stem, so we start back at 1 again. But we still have 2 branches left over. So the 11th year in the cycle, and I know this makes my head hurt and my eyes cross and everything else, but it's interesting. Yeah, well, at least for a certain type of person, and I guess I am one of those. This is kind of interesting, and it's interesting enough to make me work through this. The 11th year of the 60-year cycle we cycle back to the first heavenly stem, but now we're still going through our first round through the earthly branches, and that's the 11th earthly branch, which is Soul. So the 11th year in the 60-year cycle is Gap Soul. I have that down here. Okay, Shin was 10th and 9th. Oh, yeah. Okay, right. Now, Gap Soul. That's what I just said. That's the 11th year. The 12th year is then the second stem with the 12th branch, which is Ul He. And now we're out of branches. So the branches start over again. And now we're down to the third heavenly stem. So that will just go with the first. Yeah. So anyway, and if you think it's confusing now, hey, look at the next slide. This is all 60 years in the cycle. Years 1 through 10, years 11 through 20, 21 through 30, 31 through 40, 41 through 50, 51 through 60, showing all of the combinations. And what happens is that every time you use up all the heavenly stems, that's every 10 years, you start over again with Gap again. But you always have more earthly branches than stems. So eventually, after you've gone through 60 years, you're now matching up. See, here's one. These numbers are the numbers for the heavenly stem and earthly branch. And so the numbers in this column always go from 1 to 10, 1 to 10, 1 to 10, 1 to 10. The numbers in the second number goes from 1 to 12, but you have to go, see, you have to come around and go here. Now to get to 12, you have to, and so by the time you go around 60 times, the next pair after this is Gap and Ja. And what's happened is that you could potentially have 120 combinations of 10 heavenly stems and 12 earthly branches. But because the number of, I'm almost done with this, and we'll come back and look at this again, because you can't just, well, at least I can't just get this the first time I look at it. Because there are 2 more earthly branches than there are heavenly stems. Every time you cycle through, every time you go through 10 years, you're 2 behind. You're 2 behind in the earthly branches. And that means that after 6 of these cycles, 2 times 6 is 12, then the branches and stems match up again. But you've only gone through 60 of the possible 120 combinations. And it turns out that there's kind of an easy way of understanding how that works. And if you look at these, okay, I'm almost done belaboring this. If you look at all these combinations here, every combination is of either 2 even numbers or 2 odd numbers. And so only the 60 combinations of heavenly stems and earthly branches that always give 2 even numbers or 2 odd numbers, those are the only ones that are used. And the combinations that get skipped are the ones where you have a mismatch between odds and evens. And in Taoist numerology, that is significant. Okay, all right. So now, let's look at the character itself. The character is byeong. It means, well, its primary meaning is the third heavenly stem. It can also be used sometimes as a ordinal number. In Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese languages all have more than one way that you can refer to ordinal numbers. It's kind of like sometimes in English we'll use when we're making lists. Sometimes we'll all of a sudden throw in Roman numerals. And for someone who's studying English as a foreign language, especially if they come from a non-European background, and then all of a sudden you're throwing you've got Roman numerals in there. It's kind of like these characters. These characters are kind of like Roman numerals. They're old numbers that have historical significance and that are still hanging around. And in the case of the heavenly stems and earthly branches, though, they're of more than just historical significance. They also have, at least for many people, metaphysical, cosmological, religious, spiritual, philosophical significance as well. Anyway, so and this character is also a little more complicated. So the character from last episode was ul, which was very simple, only one stroke, although the stroke is kind of moves around. It's not just a straight line. The character before is nice and symmetric. A little more symmetric. This is still pretty symmetric. It's got this hook there. But anyway, one stroke goes across, and then this upside down open box down here. And that's how you can think of it, which is made with two strokes. One stroke is a straight line, goes down this way. The other stroke, the third stroke, has a bend in it, and then a curl up at the end. And then the fourth and fifth strokes are actually a character for ip, which is a important word in Chinese. It means enter. So gyeong, this upside down open box, which can also mean wide, is a character in Hanja. Ne, anyway, so these are the components if you want to decompose this. Now, the important thing about the most important thing about decomposing this character is that the previous two characters were themselves radicals. This character, byeong, has a radical. So every Hanja either is a radical or has a radical. And if it has a radical, it means part of the character is a radical. And the part of byeong that is the radical for byeong is this red part up here, this single stroke, single horizontal stroke. And now let's look at the animation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course, one thing that I recommend when you're learning how to write the characters is you actually say the name of the character and the stroke number together. So byeong 1, byeong 2, byeong 3, byeong 4, byeong 5. Again, byeong 1, byeong 2, byeong 3, byeong 4, byeong 5. And if you want to get fancy, and we eventually, not too distant future, it'll be several weeks from now, but we will go through the Sino-Korean numbers, especially the numbers 1 through 10, but even higher than that. And so you can use the Sino-Korean numbers when you're saying the character and saying the strokes out loud while you're writing it. You can say byeong il, byeong i, byeong sam, byeong sa, byeong o. And so that's the Sino-Korean numbers. Byeong il, byeong-i, byeong-sam, byeong-sa, byeong-o. And of course, it just so happens byeong-o is the name of the year. is the name of the fire horse year. Isn't that interesting? And so, all right. So now, hopefully, I can get the Hanja cam working properly. God, my desk is a mess. Okay. Well, it's not that messy. It just has lots of pens and stuff. Okay. So now I'm going to bring the Hanja cam into play. I just want to check one thing, make sure that yeah, it looks like. In fact, I'm going to do like a live test here. Oh, that works. Hello, hello, hello. Good. Yeah, the reason why I'm doing that. Yesterday, I did a recording. I had to do the recording for yesterday's Hanjado twice because I did the first one without any sound. But that verifies that we have some sound. So now I'm going to set up the Hanja cam. Something like this. Let's see my Cook Zero. Let's see, push this out of the way. And oh, we're not going to do the Hangul yet. We'll get to that in just a moment. At this position, more or less, pretty well. Let's see. Oh, that looks pretty good. All right. All right. So, actually, probably I can see better here. Okay. So, byeong-il, byeong-i, byeong-sam, byeong-sa, byeong-o, byeong-il, byeong-i, byeong-sam, byeong-sa, byeong-o, byeong-il, byeong-i, byeong-sam, byeong-sa, byeong-o, byeong-il, byeong-i, byeong-sa, sam, byeong-sa, byeong-o. Let's try it freehand here. Well, we'll do one more tracing. Byeong-il, byeong-i, byeong-sam, byeong-sa, byeong-il. I'm byeong-o. Jeez. Okay. Byeong-il, byeong-i, byeong-sam, byeong-sa, byeong-o. 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 Okay, so that's the general idea, right? Okay, so now let's go back to the slides and let's see if I can move the Hanja cam out of the way, more or less, mostly out of the way. We'll look at the Hangul for today. and I'm not belaboring the point today, but as was the case yesterday, the the Sino-Korean pronunciation of this character contains one of these funny vowels in Korean that don't really exist in English if you are a native speaker of English. Or really, it doesn't necessarily exist in, I mean, it exists in other languages, I guess. And so I will include in the description of this video on YouTube, and also in the article that includes this video on Substack, there will be, as usual, links to resources for learning how to properly pronounce this vowel, byeong, which, so you don't want to say byeong, not byeong. It's more like byeong. Okay, and so the stroke order diagram for byeong is, you've got one vertical stroke going down, a second vertical stroke going down, and then two horizontal strokes that join together, the final one making the bottom for the ba part of byeong. Now this is the y part of byeong, and so it's made with two horizontal strokes and then the vertical stroke that the horizontal strokes then end up being attached to. And then at the bottom, the mium, so this is the ya, this is the vowel ya. I mean yo. If there was only a single line here, instead of this double line, it would be o, just the vowel not to be confused with the vowel o, which does exist in Korean, although I'm probably not even pronouncing that correctly either. But anyway, so the bachim, the consonant at the bottom, is the mium. And here, when the mium is if the Hangul starts with the vowel, then you have to have a mium either on the left side or on the top of the Hangul. But when you have the sound, ng, which we spell in English as ng, when you have the sound at the end of the Hangul, then it is pronounced, and it's put down here. It's just like a circle or ellipse down here at the bottom, and and here's a practice sheet for writing it. So now we'll get we'll switch the Hanja cam out for the Hangul cam, okay? Bring this down. Oh, that's pretty good. Not bad. A little bit. Let's see. Bring it down more. Bigger. Okay. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait a minute. This is. I said bring in the Hangul cam. That must have been the Hanja cam stuck in there somehow. Anyway, now we're doing the Hangul cam, right? Okay, so this has 8 strokes. So let's see. It goes O, and then 6 is what is 6? Now I can't remember the Sino-Korean 6. Anyway, byeong 1, byeong 2, byeong 3, byeong 4, byeong 5, byeong 6, byeong 7, byeong 8. Oh, I have somewhere. Where is it? Let's see. You can't look at this. This is my yuk. Yuk. Okay. Okay. So byeong il, byeong i, byeong sam, byeong sa, byeong o, byeong yuk, byeong chil, byeong bao. Right? Chil, as in Chilsung, the 7 stars of the Big Dipper, and Baal, as in 8. Right? Just make sure I get this right. Don't want to spread misinformation, right? Ba. Pal. Pal, actually, Pal. Okay, so byeong il, byeong i, byeong sam, byeong sa, byeong o, byeong yuk, byeong chil, byeong pal, byeong il, byeong i, byeong sam, byeong sa, byeong o, byeong yuk, byeong chil, byeong pal. Right? Byeong il, byeong i, byeong sam, byeong sa, byeong o, byeong yuk, byeong chil, byeong pal. Byeong il, byeong i, byeong sam, byeong sa, byeong yo, byeong o, byeong yuk, byeong chil, byeong pal. Byeong il, byeong i, byeong sam, byeong sa, byeong o, byeong yuk, byeong chil, byeong pal. Okay. So that is the third heavenly stem. Oh, I just want to show one more thing. Go back to a little bit more justification for some of the pain and suffering of going through this. Right here, so you can see on this the years are, so this is byeong-o. This is the year that we're in right now. It is the combination of the third heavenly stem and the 7th earthly branch, and it's in the column marked years 41 through 50. So it's 41, 42, 43. Indeed, this is the 43rd year of the 60-year cycle that we're currently in, and it is the byeong-o nyum. And so that means the next year will be the if I tried to double check this. I did this by hand just to really work through it myself. The Jungmi, which will be the well, let's go back and see. I can probably find it. So Jungmi, Jung is It'll be another fire year, and the me is the I don't know what the animal is for that. I probably have it on another slide somewhere, but yeah. So I'm still learning this. In fact, I'm sure that many people who are watching this know some of this material better than I do. But it's very good practice to write these characters. Learning one hanja a day, you'll know 365 hanja at the end of a year if you keep it up. So I hope you do keep it up, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with tomorrow's fourth heavenly stem. Bye, everybody.